Oh, whoops. Oops. Oopsie. Fit the screen. There we go. Maybe keep it where it was. There we go. Maybe it is good that the poles are not in the way. Hi, hi. Have you played WoW before? Yes. I'll wait until people join in and I'll give the whole spiel. I'll give the whole spiel eventually. Evening chat. Hello. Pardon the ad break starting. It is just so we can go without pre-rolls and such. Doing the hardcore thing? Nah. I'm a coward. Is that the Joe Cat? Prolent. Let me know how the audio is, by the way. The game's music is in the background. Spiel is a fun word, yeah. WoW Classic for the 14 player, yeah. If you think about it, this is kind of back to our roots because, well, maybe not Classic specifically, because 14 was heavily inspired by Cataclysm, so. Are you planning on streaming more Dawn Trail anytime soon? Been hosting watch parties with my FC. Anytime soon, after my big video is done, which I'm going to try and get done by the end of this month, yes. After I'm done with that video, Baldur's Gate and Dawn Trail will be back on the menu. Yes. Also, it's so wholesome. That is... I love that. I'm glad you guys watch my streams like that, like a watch party. That's insane. 14 is what WoW was supposed to be. Is it? I don't know where they might have got that from. Source? How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Although, right before stream, oh my gosh, there's a story I gotta tell you guys. Whenever there's some downtime, whenever there's some dead air, I made it the snack up, yes. All right, there goes the ads. But yeah, there was some things going on before stream that I gotta rant to you guys about. Some upgrades happening to the tavern, but the obstacles in order to get there were quite a bit. In terms of vibes and accessibility and stuff, not like officially. Yeah, but even... Oh, whoops. Your Fugitech, Ian, is Phazos. Hold on. Fugitech. Hello, Ian. Hi. One sec. Let me fix your thingy. Your Fugitech is Phazos right now. Yeah, one sec. Well, that's the default one you have is Phazos. If you want to change your Fugitech at all, I'll send you a link. Also, I don't think people can hear you. One second, let me change my Discord to pick up Discord. There we go. People should be able to hear you now. Say some stuff.
Hello, hello.
There we go.
People.
So, you guys, this is my good buddy Ian. Some of you may know of him. Some of you may not. That is not how he looks. That is his last D&D character that he played in a live play with me. But, Ian, if you don't know, is actually one of the reasons why I have a YouTube channel and why I'm here at all. Remember our first video on Hijack together?
Oh yes, it was. Was that coming out of Endgame?
Infinity War, yes.
Infinity War. That's right, Infinity War.
Yeah. We just watched Infinity War in the theaters together in college, and we were so excited that we were like, we wanted to make a YouTube channel. Let's do it now. Start a podcast right now. We're always talking about it. Let's do it. And so we just recorded in the car on the way home.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun.
And that was the first video on my channel, which used to be called the Hijack channel. And yeah.
Memories.
So if you think about it, Ian's like your second dad.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
That is definitely a way to put it. Hi, everyone. Hello, children of mine.
Yes, of course. But he is also a big World of Warcraft player, which is why I have him on here for briefly, for however long he's able to stay. How long have you been playing WoW, Ian?
I have been playing WoW since 2005, probably about January or February 2005.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be 9 years, huh? Wait, no, 19 years.
19 years, yeah. The majority of my life, I have played World of Warcraft.
There's more of your life that you have played WoW than there isn't.
Exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I started in Classic WoW with because my mom and dad were playing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can make a character." And then yeah, I just was like, "Well, okay." And so I made a Night Elf Hunter on my mom's account, and got him up to like level 30 something, and then I was like, I want my own account so I can play with everyone. And so I got my own account, and then I remade that character, and then kept playing all the way up until Shadowlands, and then left for Shadowlands because of Shadowlands.
Yeah. There was a brief moment.
For the War Within.
Yeah, there was a brief moment where you quit a little bit after Legion as well, right?
Yes, yeah, that's true. Right after Legion, before BFA came out, I had quit. And then my sister was like, "Oh, are you going to get the new expansion?" And I was like, "No, probably not." And she was like, "Well, I got it for you for Christmas." And I was like, "Well, I guess I'm playing it then."
Yeah.
So, or birthday or something. And so I was like, "Okay." But yeah, I quit after BFA. I guess I technically quit during Shadowlands because, again, someone got me Shadowlands for a birthday or a Christmas or something. And I was like, well, I guess I have to try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, after
I mean,
Shadowlands,
that's funny.
I quit.
Yeah, that's funny because that's a scenario I'm in as well. It's like the only reason I'm here playing it is because a friend got me a sub because they were excited about Classic. Yeah. But also because I think it'll be interesting as someone who plays Final Fantasy and is known as a Final Fantasy player playing this game. Now, a couple of things. First of all, this will not be my first time playing WoW Classic. I actually did play WoW Classic a little bit when, like, I think last year with a couple of friends. I didn't really get that much deep into it. I think I reached level 8 or 10 or something like that. So I hesitate to say that I really sunk my teeth into WoW Classic. And even before then, I wouldn't say that I've ever been a WoW player, if that makes sense. Like, I've played WoW, but I'm not a WoW player. Does that make sense?
Right.
I remember in college, I played with you the free trial up to level 20 for a little bit with our two characters. You played Yorn, and I played a night elf warrior named.
Yes, I remember.
Raznut, I think his name was.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or Reznut, and he was like a crazy guy. So that's one thing. So this will not be my first time playing WoW, let alone WoW Classic. And the second thing is, I know Blizzard is not necessarily the greatest company. And I think that's important to acknowledge. So I don't condone any of the actions that they have done in recent or past or what they may do. But I'm just here to play a little game that was gifted to me, to try it out, see how it is, because it is even beside that, it is a culturally relevant game, I feel. And I like video games, and I learning about games, and I like learning about treating games like an art thing, and you know, this is art history. This is an art history lesson. So, but I feel it important to acknowledge that, yeah, Activision Blizzard are not great companies, but that's not news to anybody.
No.
Former Blizzard GM here, so happy to hear you say that. Yeah, the worst I feel like that get it are the employees. As you've probably seen, all the layoffs and the treatment of employees have not been great over there.
Yeah.
Best we can do is just hope for the better for those who work under the suits, because really a lot of the people who work there are just doing their job, just doing what they're told, trying to, you know, survive. But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
on to this cultural touchstone of a video game, where you can see this beautiful character model that has approximately 5 polygons.
Classic model.
And genuinely, I don't know what I want to play. My usual go-to, normally, I think, if I were to make a WoW character, would be the Blood Elves, because I like playing a pretty character. But as you may notice, the Blood Elves are not here in Classic. The Blood Elves were added in Burning Crusade, so we're gonna have to pick something else. And I'm pretty open to anything, so I might actually have chat vote. So firstly, the factions, the faction system in this game, which is kind of a remnant of an older time that newer and newer MMOs have not really implemented. You may notice its absence in 14, for instance. So I'm gonna make a poll, and the biggest question: Alliance or Horde?
Yeah, that's a big one in Classic WoW for sure. Like, actually kind of matters.
Yeah, very much so. Now, I think, let me make sure. I think I'm in a normal server. I'm not gonna go into in a PvP server because I'm a coward. You know, boo boo wimp. Azure song, sure, why not? But that's because I would like to play the game. So we're gonna have this go for 2 minutes, and you may vote as to if you would want me to join the Horde or the Alliance.
Excuse me.
All good. Now, as I understand it, the Horde is the more quote-unquote cooler faction, because, you know, like, I wouldn't say the more popular one, but definitely the one that's more out there and has the more fanatical fans. But that's not to say Alliance is bad. I think most people just consider Alliance to be the more vanilla things. You got your elves, you got your dwarves, you got your humans.
Right. It's 3 types of human-like character and an elf.
Yeah, whereas Horde has a bit more variety. You got your orcs.
The Horde, at least, is like, everything's different.
You got zombies, you have these Minotaur people, and you've got trolls, which is pretty cool. I think there's appeal in both. I think they do a pretty good job of keeping it balanced as to, like, what cool races are a part of each one.
Yeah, I think it works out well. And I also always found that, like, people find each of them charming in one way. Most people have, like, a favorite race and favorite, you know, faction or whatever, but, like, I feel like I at least was able to appreciate each of the different races early on and everything.
Yeah. Also, the other reason why I pick elf is blood elf is because then that way I could have a orc GF, of course, obviously the superior thing to. Well, it might be. Oh, it's very close. Oh my gosh! Holy, what the heck, you guys! Ryder, is this your fault? Ryder, did you do that? We have an even split, 199 to 199 for the Horde versus Alliance.
Okay.
All right, Ian, since you're the guest here, how about you pick?
Oh no, I'm a tiebreaker. Oh
You're the
no.
tiebreaker.
Okay. Oh man, I've been recently playing a lot of, Alliance. I've been doing a lot of my, stuff there. But I've been writing a very horde-centric story, so I'm gonna say for the Horde.
For the
So,
Horde, all right.
for the Horde.
And now we shall pick which Horde. Let's see. Which Horde? Are we gonna go Orc? Orc, Forsaken, Tauren, or Troll. Boop. Zug Zug. Loktar Ogar. I know a little bit.
There you go.
All I know about WoW I learned from Hearthstone.
Hey, I mean that's a good place to learn it. It's a fun place.
So that you guys see, here's the orcs, the undead. Sorry, not Forsaken. They were called undead back then. They're called Forsaken now, right? Or is it still undead?
I think they're still called undead.
Okay, never mind. Undead.
They're still undead.
Tauren.
Their faction is not Forsaken.
Yeah. Also, you are cutting up a lot there, friendo.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's out of your hands.
Yeah.
Still called undead. Okay. Wow, a lot of troll fans. Yeah, lots of the troll is usually the one that people say is the superior horde race. The trolls.
I'm partial to Tauren, though.
Yeah, they seem chill.
Yeah. I've always loved the Tauren starting zone of Mulgore. It just has a very cozy vibe.
Yeah, I like a good savanna, you know? Just like a nice kind of African plain of grass. Or whatever this is supposed to be. Very Georgia.
I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Oh. The Forsaken have shot up ahead. Originally, trolls were way in the lead, but it seems as though Tar and the undead have really pulled their weight. Ryder, you better not do the thing that you did. Nobody loves orcs. I guess orcs are old hack, I guess. Wow, all right, there we go. We're going to be a zombie. Cool, we're going to be an undead.
Nice. That's a good one.
Now, you may notice as well, which may be wacky to 14 players, the different races determine what classes are available to you. So, for instance, the undead cannot be a hunter. The Tauren cannot be a rogue, you know, and all that like. And same thing with the factions as well. None of the Horde can be a paladin, and none of the Alliance can be a shaman.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go in undead. And last poll.
Cool.
Last poll. What class? No druids for Horde? No, a Tauren have druids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So we've got warrior, rogue, priest. Interesting. An undead priest is an option. Mage and warlock.
Yeah. Well, with priests, the undead priests have a lot of tendency towards the shadow priest. So,
that makes sense.
using dark magic.
That's an interesting combination.
I will say that I have arrived at my destination and thus must be going.
Okay, well,
But
thanks
it
for
was
joining
great
us for...
to, pop in for the small amount of time that I was able to.
Of course, yeah. If I'm still streaming by the time you make it to your second destination, I'd be happy to have you.
Great. I look forward to it if it does happen.
Yeah.
Or any further WoW streams if they do eventually occur. But all right, have fun. Make yourself a fun
Bye,
guy.
Ian.
Bye. Bye, chat.
They haven't invented Catboys yet? No, see, here's the lore. This is what happened to the Catboys. They all died and got resurrected into... Because they were like, no, we want Catboy. We have to have Catboys. So someone tried to resurrect the Catboys, and they were turned into a zombified husk. And while you guys are doing that, I guess I will customize my face and my hair. What is that? Features? Ah, there we go. Yeah, get rid of the GIMP mask. Warlock shooting ahead. That does seem like the straightforward pick for an undead, is to be a warlock. Let's see. Oh, I can have my jaw hanging off. That's pretty cool, actually. We could have a rock jaw or a steel jaw, whatever that is. Ooh, I could have missing eyes. I have spikes. Ooh, I could have a sewn on. I could have no nose. Very nice. Or the GIMP mask. I think I might want to have no mouth, because that looks pretty cool. That looks dope. But I have to have, like, the bolts in my head. I would like the no mouth. Ah, warlock it is. Okay, that's interesting, because that is probably the least likely class I would have picked. We're really going weird with this one. This is going to be something really different for me. Because, I don't think I would have picked that of my own free will. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to be playing a type of character that I normally don't. Spellcasters are not usually my thing when it comes to RPGs. Yeah, let's have that tongue hanging out. Let's see. Ooh, we could have a purple tongue. Yeah, I like the purple tongue. And soft features, yeah. Hairstyle, we go bald, we got a big old mohawk. Crazy hair. Well, that's the closest to a normal looking hairstyle that we'll get, I guess. We could do purple. Remember to actually select warlock. You're right. Good deal. Purple, red hair. Yeah, sure, blonde. Why not? Actually, the green doesn't look bad. Green or blonde? Green or blonde? I'm gonna go blonde. I feel like that's less conventional. So, Horde. 4 races comprise the Horde. The brutal orcs, the shadowy undead, then the spiritual tauren, and the quick-witted trolls. Beset by enemies on all sides, these outcasts have forged a union they hope will ensure their mutual survival. Undead Warlock is one of the best combos. Yes, so here's a thing that is unique to WoW, or at least Final Fantasy doesn't have. Racial bonuses and abilities. Free of the Lich King's Grasp, blah, blah, blah. I'll read it. I wanted to skim it over, but might as well read it. Get into the roleplay mindset. Free of the Lich King's Grasp. Hey, it's Arthas. The Forsaken seek to overthrow his rule. Led by the Banshee Sylvanas, they hunger for vengeance against the Scourge. Humans, too, have become the enemy. Relentless in their drive to purge all undead from the land, the Forsaken care little even for their allies. Wow, they're just like, fuck you, got mine. To them, the Horde is merely a tool that may further their dark schemes of continuing to exist. May become immune to fear, sleep, and charm. It says may, so I presume it's more like a chance thing. May consume, unless it's like you can just spec into it, because otherwise that sounds really strong. May consume corpses to regain health. Good. Underwater breathing increased and resistance to shadow damage. Ooh. It's a skill. It's a cooldown. Okay, cool. All right. Now, what to name him? What to name? What to name? I shall be Tongue Lash. Yes. That is one of the only times I've been able to come up with a name very quickly. My name is Tongue Lash for my quick wit. And nothing else. And here we go. And also, what's nice.
You must be a good kisser.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of tongue. Lots of tongue.
Bound to the iron will of the tyrant Lich King.
It's a little quiet.
Vast undead armies of the Scourge seek to eradicate all life on Azeroth. Led by the Banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, a group of renegades broke away from the Scourge and freed themselves of the Lich King's domination. Known by some as the Forsaken, this group fights a constant battle, not only to retain its freedom from the Scourge, but also to slaughter those who would hunt them as monsters. With Sylvanas as their Banshee Queen, the Forsaken have built a dark stronghold beneath the ruins of Lordaeron's former capital city. This hidden Undercity forms a sprawling labyrinth that stretches beneath the haunted woods of the Tirisfal Glades. Though the very land is cursed, the zealous humans of the Scarlet Crusade still cling to their scattered holdings, obsessed with eradicating the undead and retaking their homeland. Convinced that the primitive races of the Horde can help them achieve victory over their enemies, the Forsaken have entered an alliance of convenience. Harboring no true loyalty for their new allies, they will go to any lengths to ensure their dark plans come to fruition. As one of the Forsaken, you must massacre any who pose a threat to the new order, human, undead, or otherwise.
You know, they say dark schemes, but really they just sound pretty misunderstood to me. Like, it's just like, I just want to survive, you know? It's all self-defense, you know? Like, they try to, like, oh, they're dark schemes. Just self-preservation. So I wake up in a crypt. That's pretty interesting. Whoa. Jump animations. Whoa. Like 60% self-defense. Yeah. Just hanging out. All right, and here we are. Let's see. I've got a dagger, shadow bolt, demon skin. Is there a way I can... Hold on. Let me move the chat so you can see my hotbar. And... Is there a way I can, like, change where the tooltips appear? Now, backseating is a totally A-okay thing in this stream because I am unfamiliar with WoW and I'm going to be asking lots of questions. So feel free to give tips all you wish. With add-ons you can? With add-ons. Okay, well, I'll just have to read them out. Go kill. Hi, gentle bro. Let me increase the volume a little bit. Music, ambient, well, everything's all the way up, so guess I'll just have to turn it up on stream. Hello, Mordo.
What do you require?
About time you woke up. We were ready to toss you into the fire with the others, but it looks like you made it. I am Mordo, the caretaker of the crypt of Death now, and you are the Lich King's slave no more. Speak with Shadow Priest Sarvis in the chapel at the base of the hill. He will tell you more of what you must know. So one thing that I learned in my little time playing WoW Classic last time was that WoW Classic doesn't give you quest markers, which is interesting. They just give you directions and landmarks, which is pretty cool. I feel like it can be done well or not well, but I guess we'll see. Looks like there is a Dusk Bat and demon skin. Protect the caster, increase armor by 40 and restores 3 health per 5 seconds. Oh, it's a heal over time. Okay. So I can do that. And Shadow Bolt. Shadow Bolt. And I can stab, because I'm out of mana. Wow. 2 Shadow Bolts and I'm out of mana. Stab. Stab. Shadow Bolt. Stab. Nice. It's just like D&D warlocks. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it might be. I think WoW's warlocks are definitely a bit more casty, and they've developed their own identity separate from D&D warlocks. Especially D&D warlocks themselves have changed over the years, and 5Es is a far cry to what they were before. But so far, that is definitely very similar to D&D warlocks. You cast 2 spells and then you're done. Legally distinct warlock, yeah. Hello.
Hello.
No other race on Azeroth has suffered as much as our people, warlock. To laugh in the face of death has become second nature for us.
Remember,
All right. Another of the Walking Dead. Must have been quite a shock waking up in the crypt with only the cold and Mordo to greet you. I see the confusion on your face. Let me try to explain our situation to you. We have been freed from the control of the Lich King by our new leader, Lady Sylvanas. The Dark Lady guides us on our war against the hated Scourge and the holdouts of humanity who dog our every step.
Our time will come.
We've forsaken or at war with the Lich King's army of the Scourge, necromantically raised armies of the undead, foul beasts of the to the north, and tormented specters. The northern part of the village has become overrun with mindless ones, and they must be destroyed. Destroy them. Show them no mercy. Our former brothers and sisters, as they may be, the fallen are nothing but the Lich King's slaves. I kind of like these guys. I kind of like how they're just like, yeah, we're undead, but we at least have control of our minds, and we just want to live. Those are actual, like, bad undead. Go kill them. Like, they're kind of their own type of heroes. Sorry, where was it again? Hold on. That's not right. Quest log J. Of the north. The northern part of the village. Okay. Pragmatists, yeah. What do you got?
What is it?
Greetings, child. I can see that you are still young in the ways of the warlock. Power still eluding your grasp. I sense your eagerness to learn, and you will. There is no strength in ignorance. Knowledge is the greatest power. Is our greatest power, though its application we control the chaotic magics that beings of the void, binding them to our will. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Apparently the best comparison for one of the specs of Warlock that we can have to Final Fantasy is kind of like a summoner. Not the summoner that we know right now, more like a pet class. But that's a thing that's going to be take some getting used to. Is old Warcraft has build crafting, so like skill builds and spell builds and talent trees and all that stuff. So that's pretty interesting. I do miss RPGs that let you do that. I think that's why a lot of people like Souls games, is because they're one of the few like recent ones in recent memory that let you really spec your character, you know? Because looking at a bunch of different RPGs, there's leveling up and you get skills, but you don't really get to specialize anymore. Then again, maybe I just haven't been playing that many RPGs, you know? Baldur's Gate lets you do that. Let's see. I haven't played Xenoblade, so maybe Xenoblade lets you do that. Hey, Anarchy, what's up? Classic gaming, yeah. Can't get much classic than WoW. Path of Exile, yeah, but Path of Exile came out in what, like 2014? 2014 was 10 years ago, guys. Can you believe it? Yeah. We need a BG3 equivalent of Pathfinder 2. I would love that. I'll show you how to... okay. Summon Imp. Heck yeah.
No one.
Hold on, what did she say? Piercing the veil. You must bring me 3 skulls of the rattle cage skeletons near the abandoned smithy. Okay. Oh no, I'm old. If you're old, what does that make me? No, see, I'm adding new lore, new Joe Cat lore. Because I am a cat boy, I never age. I'm actually at least 70 years old. But due to my cat genes, I have impeccably slow aging. So then, the abandoned smithy. Mindless zombies. These are not the ones that I need to kill. Oh, they are. Wretched zombies and mindless zombies. Okay. I wanna learn my imp first before I do this. At the abandoned smithy. Is that this? This kind of looks like a blacksmith. Yeah, rattle cage skeletons. Where are you? Your age is in cat years. Yeah, exactly. Cosplay was coined as a term in 1984, so I'm 40. Rattle cage skeleton. Hello. Shadowbolt. 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 And So I did play WoW one time when I was really, really young, and I was like, this game is so dumb, it's so basic. Because I had played other MMOs, and not realizing that other MMOs like Fiesta Online and Silence of Fate, you know, just about every MMO was influenced by WoW. Which is why I was like, oh, well, they kind of shake it up by adding a few little things on top of it to kind of make it their own thing. Even though they don't, they're actually a watered down WoW, I would argue. But that's because they're all taking from this kind of base foundation of World of Warcraft. Mabinogi, yeah! Mabinogi has more like life sim elements to it, which was very cool. You could pass off to later generations. Ragnarok Online, which is older, yeah. Ragnarok didn't really take from World of Warcraft, and it's its own thing. It's its own like 2D style, kind of isometric, which I do have installed. I've been itching. I've been in the MMO mood lately, and I've been itching to just like do a bunch of random one-off streams, just playing old MMOs like MapleStory, even though MapleStory is so different now. MapleStory, Ragnarok Online, maybe RuneScape, and maybe trying out some new MMOs like Brighter Shores recently came out. I might want to play that with Echo because she's a big RuneScape person. Yay, got one. Now here we go, the old WoW collecting, the chance-based item drops. That's one. We've killed like 5 skeletons and we finally got one. The Star Wars MMO? Maybe. I'm not really... I like Star Wars. I'm not really into Star Wars as a property, if that makes sense. I like The Force Unleashed. I think it takes a very specific and special Star Wars game. That Ubisoft Star Wars game, I've heard decent things about. Firstly, that it works. Because it... the thing about lots of Ubisoft games is they tend to look too good to be true, so I approach them very cautiously, right? And this one was the same, where it's like, this looks like the like dream Star Wars game, which is why I was very skeptical. But on the bright side, I do hear that it is pretty decent, so I might play it in my off time. But yeah, as far as like Star Wars things, I think The Force Unleashed is like the only one that I like. Things changed since Anthem, yeah. No, listen, maybe this makes me sound cynical, but I remember being skeptical of No Man's Sky. I remember I was in high school and all my friends were so hyped for No Man's Sky, and I'm like, this sounds too good to be true. How are they gonna do it? Like all this stuff that they're promising, how are they gonna do it? And lo and behold, I was right. It was too good to be true. But yeah, I don't approach games as like, oh, this game's gonna suck, or oh, this game's gonna be amazing. I'm like, I'm gonna wait and see. You know, I don't like to be cynical. I like to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. You know, Anthem was such a good idea. Who wouldn't want to fly around in an Iron Man suit? Me. Although I do see its appeal. I understand the appeal it might have to some people. But it was not my kind of game. Hey, level up! Sweet. Yeah, to me, I like limitations. Which is why WoW, on paper, seems like it would appeal to me. I like being a random nobody adventurer with very few things that you can do, and having to find ways to progress, you know, whether it be modes of transportation or working together with a team and stuff like that. I like being a random nobody adventurer. And so the whole flying around in Anthem, I wasn't a big fan of, because it's like, okay, if I can just fly around, well then... Hey, Final Skull. If I can just fly around, it kind of feels like I don't have to interact with the environment, right? And that's somewhat how I feel about Final Fantasy. And I don't know what the solution to that is, you know? Like, on the one hand, convenience. On the other hand, novelty is lost. That's always a big balance that developers struggle with, and I do not envy any developer that has to solve that problem, is the balance between novelty and convenience. Because for every quality of life thing you add, you kind of remove something. The clunkiness can sometimes add to the experience, and I know this because I play Monster Hunter. Imagine, for instance, if you no longer had to sharpen in Monster Hunter. Now, sharpening doesn't add anything.
Do not see.
Sharpening doesn't add anything other than the novelty or fantasy that you're maintaining your equipment. But what does it do? It wastes your time. It makes you stop. It makes you have to take a few seconds, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because that's part of the experience, right? And that's what I'm talking about by novelty.
And you are.
Scavenge Paws and Dustbat Wind. I can do that.
Watch over you.
And I feel as though, love Final Fantasy as I do, I feel like a lot of its conveniences have left me a bit wanting and a lot of things. You know, the instance dungeons, the queues into a, not that they're long or anything, but just like queuing into a thing and it's an instance thing that's separated from the whole world, which is convenient. But I don't know, it loses a bit of that fantasy of going into the dungeon physically, you know, gathering your party, going inwards. And I want a game like that. I don't know if it's going to be classic WoW. Probably not. This game's kind of too ugly for me. But I don't know. Maybe there will be another game like that to come along one day that lets you play a little nobody adventure. You're not tasked with saving the world. You're just going out on adventures. And there's lots of limitations that require you to like camp out and stuff. And I know some friends have mentioned that Ashes of Creation apparently does that, but I'll wait and see. I'm cautious about that game, especially because they use AI voice acting. So sounds like you should try 11. Maybe. 11 sounds mean, though. 11 sounds like it might be going a bit too far in that novelty direction to the point of being harsh. But we'll see. We'll see. Demonology. Summon Imp. All right. Summon Imp. 11 is mean. Yeah. Is Morrowind like that? Maybe. I don't know. Hey, there's the Imp. Ah, and here I have a pet bar. Follow orders. Order to attack the current target. Stay. Firebolt. So Firebolt is on auto. Aggressive. Attack nearby enemies. Okay. So currently follow, defensive, and Firebolt is on auto cast. So let's test this out. Look at him go. Look at him. All right, let's try this out. Hiya. So does that mean he will auto-cast it? Yeah, all right. We've effectively doubled our damage output. Nice. If the new Alliance raid is any indication, 11 really is mean. Yeah. Morrowind is both incredibly fun and frustrating. Skyrim, with a specific mod, scratches that itch better for me. Yes, that's what I want. See, Skyrim, I keep going back to Skyrim because Skyrim is the closest game that I've gotten to that experience. To the point where I'll mostly ignore the whole Dragonborn part and just pretend that I'm a nobody adventurer. Like, sure, I'll start the Dragonborn quest so that I can have dragons around and complete the main story so I can get it over with, right? But I like pretending that I'm just a random adventurer going around with my breeze home in Whiterun and just doing tasks with this big open world that I can travel and just get sucked into and just live a life. Like, I want an RPG. What I want is an Elden Ring, right? Something with the feel, the combat feel of Elden Ring, with some minor life sim elements, and actual towns and living civilizations, right? I want a game that plays like Elden Ring, but actually has, like, cities. Because I would love to see FromSoft's take. So Black Desert? Well, let me ask you a question. Is Black Desert good? It's okay. Yeah, okay. Guild Wars 2, maybe Guild Wars. Dragon's Dogma 2 was also pretty close to that. It's got like some of what I'm looking for, where you go out, go on an adventure, do a few quests, and then come back home and turn in your quest. Right? I just wish it was co-op. Why? Is it like it would be a slam dunk if you could play Dragon's Dogma with your friends. Imagine. Oh, the combos you could do. Guild Wars 2 is pretty good. Yeah, I did play that a little bit in college. That was pretty fun. I don't know what made me stop. Might have to try that once I'm done with Dawn Trail. Let's get back into it. You gonna add additional action bars? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll add that once I start to fill up. Why no co-op in Dragon's Dogma 2? Yeah, I don't understand either. I mean, obviously it's because, you know, multiplayer is hard, firstly. But I wish they prioritized it. It would, just imagine if they prioritized making it a multiplayer game. Like, at least just make it an option, right? You don't want, like, if you don't want people, bring pawns instead. But if you want, you know, bring along some players in place of those pawns, and you could have an entire party. Like, I want an RPG that allows you to specialize and play with your friends, go out on an adventure with just you guys, not trying to save the world, and then come back home and revel in your spoils and just have a party, you know? Like give us element or systems that let you just party and hang out and not just do combat. And there hasn't really been a game that has hit those marks for me yet. There have been games that have come close, you know. And the realist part of me thinks that if that sort of game were possible, it would have happened already, which probably tells me that we're probably not there yet, you know. Oh, Nightbot, I am not focusing on drawing. Hold on. Let me disable that message. Nightbot, timers, arting, get rid of that. There we go. Sweet. Ashes of Creation is kind of doing that, but it's super early closed alpha. Yeah, that's why I said I'm cautious about Ashes of Creation, because it's not done yet. Anything can happen. Oh, do you guys remember EverQuest Next? Whenever I think about an MMO that looks great and looks promising, I think of EverQuest Next. And you know what happened? It got canceled. EverQuest Next looks so promising, man. It had like all these cool building features. It was all gonna be very like player driven, and it looks so cool. A dream long dead, that one. Or Blue Protocol. Ah! Blue Protocol looked so fun to play with friends. But it's staying in Korea. Ah! Sad. Extreme sad. "14 has all the pieces needed." In order for it to be what I want it to be, 14 would have to do a lot. There would be a lot of like foundational things that you would have to change about 14. So I don't know about that, because 14 doesn't really do specs. In fact, 14 doesn't do talents at all. You pick your class, and that is the class you play. Like, there's only one way to play that class, you know, which is fine. Like, it works for that game, and that game is built around that. But I want a game where I can customize my character and how they play, you know. I want a game where I can customize There's a little bit of life sim stuff. I can hang out with my friends and go on an adventure. Specking is harder because then there's a lot more to consider balance-wise. Yeah, which is why I think it shouldn't be an MMO, right? It should be a single-player / co-op game, because that way you don't have to worry about balance. I feel like balance is not a big issue with a single-player / lobby-based multiplayer game. Yeah, so a bit like Dragon's Dogma 2. It all goes back. If Dragon's Dogma 2 were co-op, then it'd be very close. It'd be very, very close. Gloves or cloak? Let me see what I got first. Let me put on some of this stuff. Shield, cloth, pants, gloves, bracelet. So, I mean, this is better. All right. There we go. Tainted scroll. Wayfinder? No, Wayfinder has preset characters. You can't make your own. 14 used to have specking, but since that would make a character weak in certain jobs, it wasn't spec'd in, so they pulled that plug. Yeah, so that's what I mean by like quality of life getting rid of novelty. And I would like a game that's not afraid to let players be bad, right? Like the way 14 is designed works for how 14 is. I want Baldur's Gate. Joe wants Baldur's Gate, but multiplayer because the physical world is too restricted for RPGs. Yeah. More like Dragon's Dogma. I wouldn't want it to be turn-based. Maybe ESO then? There's plenty of creatability. Maybe. Yeah. The thing is, all these suggestions you guys are making, you might be right. I just haven't played enough of those games to really know. They haven't really grabbed me. While you're off dealing with the mindless scourge, this scroll arrived for you. I would think it's some matter of importance. I would take some time to read it before heading out. All right. Where is it? Right click to read. Oh boy, that typeface. Oh geez. An awful predicament to find ourselves in, isn't it, Tongue Lash? Plagued by the foul prince, ostracized and spurned by our own loved ones, we finally have our own will thanks to the beautiful Sylvanas. But what does that afford us now? Slaves to a different master is still a slave, or so I say. But what if we were the masters? Yes, you know what I mean, don't you? We are even more separated from the rest of the Forsaken, Tongue Lash. And that is why we must speak further. Find me in the church in Deathnell. Yeah, that book font is terrible. Who sent me this? No, it's not signed.
Speak quickly.
Tainted Soul. I bid you farewell. Welcome, brother. I knew you would come. It was only a matter of time. Wait, so he gave me a letter that's like, here, meet me at the church in Deathnell. And he's literally right over here. What I said interested you, didn't it? I hit a chord. Something inside you knew that what I claimed was true. Good. Know this, I am no traitor to Sylvanas. If anything, she would appreciate my claim, considering it was her own beliefs that put the Forsaken in the position it is now.
Dark lady.
I mentioned a slave still being a slave, no matter the master. Do you remember? We both know that it is that type of control, that type of power that now drives us. We seek to have creatures serve us. We know we are more powerful and deserve more respect than others give us, and so we look to take it. I'm pretty good where I'm at. I will be your ally in the struggle for your own freedom to seek our own allegiances. When you feel ready, return to me and I will teach you all I know. Okay, so this is the trainer. So from what I understand, you don't just learn skills in this game. You have to actually buy them, which is interesting. Ooh, Immolate. Burns the enemy for 9 fire damage and then an additional 20 damage over time. Ooh, a dot! Hell yeah! Nice, I do like dots. Dots. Okay, so these are the 3 different types. No, general, demonology, destruction, and there's going to be a third one somewhere. So, we'll put that there. Yeah.
I'm listening.
The rattle cage skeletons, more mindless minions of the Lich King, are a tougher foe than the zombies. Oh, I've already killed a bunch of those, but yeah. 12 rattle cage skeletons. All right. Now, what was the other one that I picked up? The damned. Scavenger paw, dusk bat wing. Okay. No, yeah, this is not a hardcore server. I'm too cowardly to do hardcore. Dots! Haha! My first dot. I think I've seen enough people play Classic to know I personally would not like Classic. Yeah, that's understandable. Some of the systems can seem very archaic, and I'm gonna be honest, maybe this makes me shallow and a part of the problem with video games nowadays, but I do get quite seduced by a nice looking game. I'm gonna be quite honest. You know, if a game is pretty, I can be persuaded to overlook a lot of things. Just inherently. I think that's how it was with Destiny. Destiny was just very pretty, and it felt good to play. Some call Weird Al and check if he's playing bingo, because we're about to be covered in polka dot. Good one. So you're playing a 20-year-old version of a game. Yeah, I am. Yeah. I am indeed. Because sometimes there are things that old games do that that you're looking for, you know, that new games don't do. Hey, my first paw. Sometimes they just scratch an itch, yeah. I mean, just look at Skyrim. I still go to Skyrim every now and then. I go back to Skyrim every now and then. I'll go back to oh geez, I'll go back. What's an old game that I like to replay? I mean, Halo. Halo 3. I'll play Halo 3 like all day sometimes. And that game is 18 years old. Halo 3 is old enough to vote. Wait, no, it's 17. My mistake. 17 years old. But it's getting there. WoW is still alive? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. WoW is still kicking. This is the classic version of WoW, but current retail has apparently been doing pretty good as well. A lot of people were very happy with the War Within. I definitely don't miss fetch quests with RNG. Yeah, I understand. Sometimes, but there's a different appeal, right? Some people, like for me, notice I've been able to hang out and talk with chat, and there's something of an appeal to have a game that you just can kind of turn your brain off, right? Now, if I was actively playing this game and paying attention, sure, I'd be pretty annoyed that I've killed who knows how many wolves now, and I've only gotten one paw, right? But there's some appeal in a game that you can just kind of do a little mindlessly while you have something on the other tab. And I think that's the appeal a lot of people have with RuneScape. I was not a RuneScape player, but I had a roommate in college who played RuneScape, and he would normally have something else. I should sell some of these. Have like a second tab where he would be doing his homework. Oh, here comes the ads. In about 3 minutes, there's going to be another ad break. Apologies. But yeah, it's something cozy to do that you can just hang out, maybe talk with some friends.
What do you require?
And just kind of shoot the shit while you progress your game, you know? And I see an appeal to that. I think that's how I treated MapleStory for a little bit. Hoping they don't drop the ball like the last time they attempted player housing. Yeah. WoW is getting player housing. That's pretty interesting. I'm surprised it took them this long. It feels like a thing that they could have done. Supposedly they tried to do that with garrisons back in what's it called? The Orc expansion. So, but people really didn't like that. Warlords of Draenor, yeah. And apparently it was not good. I do not know the specific nuances as to why it wasn't good, but people were not happy with that. Boosh. Another paw, very nice. How's it going? It's going pretty good. I kind of... Now, it's not WoW that's doing this, but I do appreciate having a game that I can just hang out and chat with you, chat. Just hang out, because I feel like a lot of games I'm focused on the game, and I don't really get to say a lot of my own thoughts. So I might have to find a game like this. Maybe not this one specifically, but once I'm done with Dawn Trail and Baldur's Gate, I might want to do like a regular weekly stream where I just play a game or do a thing that doesn't take a lot of mind so I can just hang out. My manager, River, had recommended that that's a good idea to do. Just something that doesn't take a lot of mind, so I can chat with you guys. Satisfactory? No, I'm scared. Satisfactory looks too good, and I'm gonna wanna focus on that game. And like, I worry that I'm gonna min-max that game, and it's gonna make me go crazy. Power Wash Simulator, that's a good one. Balatro? No, I get too focused when I play Balatro. But I might do a Balatro stream sometime, though, just to have people see how I play. Because everyone plays Balatro a little bit differently. So maybe Power Wash. Power Wash is a good, cozy stream game. Maybe a shooter game. Yeah, those are relaxing. I can definitely look at chat while I'm playing those. Hunt Showdown, yes. That's a battle royale, isn't it? I don't know if you want backseating. Backseating, this stream is totally okay. Because I don't know anything about WoW, and I'm happy to get tips. Elite Dangerous. Ooh, yeah! Elite Dangerous, probably. I'm a weirdo who finds boomer shooters relaxing. Yeah, you are a weirdo. How do you do it? Yeah. Pelt. Come on. How are these wolves? How do these wolves not have any paws? You got 4 of them. You can go to the settings and add action bars. Should I right now? I mean, I only got this many skills. I'll wait until these fill out first. Impossible grab. You keep burning them to a crisp. In about 14 years, a gigantic fiery dude is going to stab the entire planet. You're going to want to perfect parry that. I'll try. I'll try. And so you can move the skills around more comfortably. Yeah. I'm okay with this so far. I'm only really using 2 buttons. But once I get more, I'll definitely add more, maneuver them about. I appreciate it. Move the chat away from that. There we go. Still no pause. Ah, there we go. Paw. Cool. Sweet. Now, what was the other quest that I had to do? Rattling the rattle. Oh, more rattle cage zombies. Okay. Or skeletons. Dawn Trail's uglier than I remember, yeah. Yeah, ever since Zoralja made an attack on Tuliolal, it, yeah, stuff has gone to shit, man. It's real bad.
Father, I crave violence.
Me too, Gabo. Actually, look, Gabo, you're right there. Even though it says, Jack Y'all, and even though it says Imp, it's like I got Gabo with me on my adventure. You can finally launch fires. Ooh, flimsy chain cloak. How does that look? Slightly different color. I was literally talking with a coworker about Crap Guide to Final Fantasy XIV and how I would love Crap Guide to WoW yesterday. No. No.
I'm using a glamour prism to blend in with the locals.
Yes. Good glamour. Gabo, you look great. Very, very fashionable, very fiery. It suits you. I like your earrings. But no, firstly, I don't see myself playing WoW, so I don't feel comfortable. Here's a secret about the crap guides, right? Even if I were to still be making crap guides, I don't feel comfortable making crap guides for games I don't play. Even though there's a massive market, right? Or there's a massive demand for a crap guide for other games and other series and stuff. In fact, when I started doing crap guide to D&D, and seeing how popular they were, even when it wasn't Monster Hunter, I was like, man, I can really milk this for all it's worth. I could make a crap guide to Marvel heroes. I could make a crap guide to who knows what else, you know? I can make a crap guide to Destiny. But firstly, they're very demanding to write. Maybe someone else could write them faster than I could, but like I need time. You notice how many months they were between some of them, but also I want to make them for games that I'm interested in and I like and I'm passionate about, you know, and games that I want to share with my friends. Like the whole reason I made the crap guides to Monster Hunter was because I wanted my friends to play Monster Hunter, but all of the guides were like 20 minutes long, and I was like, I don't want to. My friends are not going to be engaged with a 20-minute long video on how to play one weapon. So I was like, I'm gonna make it 2 minutes. I'm gonna make it silly. I'm gonna make it funny. I'm gonna make it fun. So that way, it's easy for them to watch, you know? Someone who doesn't know anything about Monster Hunter to watch. And that was the whole idea behind them. And of course, it is a job now. It is a business, and I could turn it into a continued business. But I like to hold my passion primarily first, you know, my passion, because I feel like the passion comes through. If I'm not passionate about the art, I feel like the art is at risk of becoming bad. If I'm not passionate about the thing that I'm making, the quality of it notably makes a dip. And I've seen it myself. Maybe you don't notice, but I notice. And I, even just for my own personal sake, am not satisfied when I make something out of obligation. What game has been requested to be a crap guided the most? Well, basically any game that I play. I think the most is probably one of the Souls games, which I don't even know what I would do, you know? Like, would I pick a specific weapon class? Would I pick a specific stat? Maybe a boss? I did almost do a crap guide to Monster Hunter monsters, like how to beat each one and like their weaknesses and stuff. But there's just so many, right? Crap guides to things that I don't even know would make sense, because they follow a very specific formula. You notice all of them are usually, or most of them, the D&D ones are unique in that some of them don't have to do with things that you play, but most of them are things that...
I need a crap guide to social interactions.
Most of them, don't we all, Gabo? I would like one as well. If you can write one for me, that'd be great. Most of them are a subject amongst a list of categories that a person can pick. So like a class in D&D, or a weapon type in Monster Hunter, or a class in Final Fantasy, you know? So World of Warcraft would definitely fit that format very, very well. The only problem is, firstly, thank you. Firstly, I don't play WoW, so I don't feel like I understand it well enough to make good jokes. Larry Czar once said that in order to make good jokes, you need to understand the subject. And I was also reinforced that with Josh Strife Hayes. I actually had the privilege of speaking with Josh. He's a very cool guy, very, very cool. Speaking of MMOs and content, Josh Strife Hayes is one of the coolest, smartest men alive that I know, and very well spoken as well. And oh, somebody else tagged that guy. And I was feeling a little bit insecure and kind of spilling my guts to him about some of my insecurities and just some of my worries about content creation and stuff like that, and suffering from some imposter syndrome, because I don't know, I was part of a thing that I didn't feel like I had a place in. Like, why am I here? We've got all these other cool people. Why am I here? And I was telling this to him, and it was because it involved a game, and I was there despite the fact that my gaming content is made infrequently and it's comedic. It's not informational. It's not like reviews, and it's not analytical either. I do have some analytical stuff, but it's few and far between, right? So I'm like, I'm a comedian. Why am I here? Why am I here in this game thing with all these other people that, you know, make content talking about games, reviewing games, analyzing games? And he told me, well, you're a comedian, right? And you make jokes that resonate with people in those communities. That must mean that you know a lot about them, right? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, in order to in order to make a good joke that resonates with the community, you need to understand that community. And I was like, oh my God, Josh, you're right. You're a genius. Some of the WoW crap guide jokes were already made in the Final Fantasy XIV crap guides. Yeah, some of them are generic enough that they can overlap. You know, just MMOs in general.
Embrace the shadow.
That better be good.
Oh, flax boots. There we go.
Time will come.
All right, put that on. Are they like the same? Yeah, they're exactly the same. Okay. How's it compared to 14 so far? So far, a lot more mindless, you know. It's an old school MMO, so it's very go here, do thing. Good, go here, do thing. Which has its own appeal. I think it would definitely be a lot more fun with friends if I was just doing this with friends. It's a very hang out and shoot the shit kind of game, you know. 14 is mindless at the start, to be fair. Yes. However, I feel like it's got a bit more sauce when it comes to the world building and like storytelling. Whereas WoW doesn't have, at least right now, it doesn't really have a story for the player. It has world building. It has little stories. But that's not to say that that's bad. It's also got cutscenes. Yeah, 14 has cutscenes. It's definitely a lot more digestible. Whereas this has just kind of got like blocks of text, which there's nothing inherently wrong with. Like, I feel like there is an appeal of making your own story, because WoW's story, I think a lot of people would say, OG classic WoW story is the story you make on your own. You know, the organic player story. And there's definitely an appeal to that. It's a lot more open-ended, yeah. So I would say in that sense, it hasn't really gripped me, but I am enjoying just hanging out with chat and just playing a game. So that's all I need. But if there were another game that I were playing that achieved this better, like, to be honest, I would drop it, but I'm giving it a fair shake first and just making the comparison. My friend Marla Phipps lives with her husband Samuel before the plague, but when the plague came, Samuel succumbed and joined the Scourge's ranks. Marla was spared an undeath only to die at the hands of her now mindless husband. So strong was her love, however, that her last dying wish was to be buried with her beloved Samuel. Samuel Phipps roams at a ruined camp along the road northeast of Deathnell. Defeat him and grant Marla's wish. Okay, northeast of Deathnell. So we are in Deathnell. So, like, it's got little stories like this, like little bits of world building, which is pleasant. It's cute, but
What would you ask of death?
I'll accept this and look at it later. Okay, northeast. So we head north and east, northeast of Deathnell. Along the road. So if I just follow the road, I should get there. Doesn't feel super plot heavy, yeah. And you have to keep in mind the context of the time. Like, WoW was the first kind of mainstream streamlined MMO, because what big MMO was around before this? There was EverQuest 2, there was Ultima Online, there was, I don't know, Lineage, Final Fantasy XI, Dark Age of Camelot, and all of those games were very, very convoluted and not like new player friendly. I passed it. Oh, oops. Oh, okay, over there. Awesome. But WoW was the first game that was just like easy. Oh, Samuel Phipps, there he is. Kind of new player friendly. Like, compared to those games, WoW's like systems were super duper simple to understand. I mean, they're downright archaic now, like in today's context, but at the time, this was easy. This was simple. And like, WoW was back then what Final Fantasy is now. Super approachable, super simple to understand, super newcomer friendly. Okay, so now I have to go bury him at the graveyard, in the first row of our graveyard. Okay, back to Death Knell. There are some things about Classic that are very esoteric, though, like the PvP ranking system. Yeah. Although I don't know anything about that sort of stuff, but like I'm trying to keep in mind the context of this game at the time, you know? And it is still quite a simple and, you know, quaint game. Some of it is still a little bit obtuse, like having to read the quest log and figure it out yourself. But there are games today that try to deliberately give you that experience, like Outward. Outward is an open world RPG that deliberately does not give you quest markers or that many hints. You have to just like learn the layout, read the dialogue, read the quest description, and figure out where you have to go based on landmarks. And I think that's cool. In that way, it's not so archaic and not so behind the times, but a very deliberate design choice, I feel. The town's graveyard. Is it not here? Is this not the graveyard? You passed it? Oh, my bad. Secret World. Yeah, Secret World was similar like that as well. You had to actually just use the environment. Now, in today's age of technology and internet and information sharing, people just look that stuff up, right? Ah, there it is. My bad. Thank you, chat. But like, I feel there's a lost art to games that really immerse you. And even now, like even as I'm playing this right now, the irony is not lost on me that I am explicitly doing the thing that has caused games to be, for lack of a better term, dumbed down. But there is an audience for that, I think, and there is an appeal to that. It should be this, right? First row. Ah, there it is. Sweet. There we are. Cool. Oh, hello. Oh, are you a viewer? Ooh, conjured water. Restores mana. Thank you. I love Kuni. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sweet. How nice. I got some free potions, or free water. Delicious. Yeah, so here's the thing as well. I like this. I like games where you actually have to like use your supplies. It's why I like Monster Hunter so much, is that you actually have to prepare before a hunt. And I like that in this game, whenever you're low on like health and mana, especially like in a dungeon, it doesn't regenerate super duper fast. So you actually have to like take a rest and drink water and essentially camp out. That's pretty cool. Ooh. Oh, you crafted more. Oh, thank you. I don't know what I can give. I guess I don't need to give anything. Thank you. I appreciate it. How kind. Sweet.
Hello.
Although our struggles against the Scourge continues, let us hope that Marla and Samuel will find peace together in their final resting place.
Do not seek.
So this also confirms that we can die for real, even as zombies. Now, what's the other quest? You there, if you're looking for something... Excuse me, pardon me. Something to make yourself useful, then listen up. We need fresh out-of-the-ground recruits to head into Death Knell and search for any sort of useful equipment. Most likely, they'll be in stacks of boxes. We expect more recruits to be rising soon, and unless we want them to stumble about naked, we had better get to scavenging. Get to work, you miserable bag of bones. I'm not going to reward those without some hustle. Okay. Crates, stacks of boxes. There'll be stacks of boxes. Okay, just search Death Knell. All right. But yeah, I think there is an appeal to obfuscating some information and making the player actually engage with the world design. Now, that is highly dependent on the world design being good and being very deliberate. So it can be good if the map design and world design and layout is good, but also the directions need to be good as well. Before this, I was playing a private server of WoW with my friend Ian, who was here earlier, called Turtle WoW. And it is basically just a player-run server with their own adjustments and stuff. Ah, there they are. And they made their own starting area for the elves. And, all right, sweet. And the quests were notably bad at giving you directions on where to go. Now, we did find where we needed to go eventually, but that's kind of the crux, right? That's the thing that you really have to consider when you're making an obtuse world where the player has to engage. Maybe not obtuse, maybe obtuse is the wrong word. A world or a game where the player has to engage with the environment is you need to make your directions clear and good and well thought out. And that is why we've reached this era of yellow paint marks, which I understand their existence, and I do not fault to developers, because sometimes, oh, good God, good Lord. Sometimes, if you've ever been to a playtest, some people are just, they just really, really need a helping hand. So I don't fault developers for resorting to that sort of stuff sometimes, because I get it. What little I've done in game design in high school, like, you really just feel as though you need to give them that extra help, you know? Which makes it all the more impressive when developers don't do that, right? I feel like we shouldn't shame developers for adding those assistants. We should instead applaud the ones that don't, because that is brave. Like, when you choose to make things harder, or like more difficult to understand, that is taking a risk. Now, sometimes that risk can pay off, and that harder to understand thing can add some value, add some novelty. But sometimes the hard to understand thing really is badly designed and poorly thought out, and you really should adjust it. How do you figure out if it's actually bad or not? Good luck, because that is one of the most difficult things to figure out as a developer.
What now?
Because some people are going to say it's badly designed, and some people are going to say that it's fine and you should keep it the way that it is. Who do you listen to? Good luck. Now, we can talk until we're blue in the face of, oh, you listen to the dedicated players who know what they're talking about, but like, it all comes down to like, how do you know who those are, right? So it's a very, very difficult and just so demanding thing as a developer to figure out who are you making this game for, right? And you do have to accept the consequences of whatever choice that you make of like, okay, I'm going to try and make this game to have a little bit broader appeal and risk losing what makes that game special, or I'm not going to try and make this broader appeal. This is the game. This is how I'm going to design it. Either play it on my terms or don't play it at all. I'm not changing it. And risk the game dying, right? Because that's always the trade-off. There's a gold mine to the northwest that has been overrun with spiders. A little dungeon.
Would
Not
like
a
if
real
yellow
dungeon.
paint was toggleable like any other accessibility feature. Maybe then elitist dude brothers will simmer down about it.
Well, they'd still be upset at the option, you know. But yeah, it's all like really up to the developer, really, and they will reap what they sow. And really, it's just like it's what's helped me not get too upset about video games nowadays is by realizing, well, this game might not be for me. I'm gonna go play something else, right? And as much as I try to keep that mantra as much as I can, I don't think I've actively practiced it until Pokemon, until Sword and Shield. I think that's when I truly started to... Northwest, okay. The mines to the northwest. I think it's there. Yeah. Because, like, some games deserve the criticism, but others, it's just not in your wheelhouse. Yeah. And I feel like there's more overlap there than we might think as well. Because I do have my criticisms of Pokemon, but also some people just need to shut up and go play something else. And I was in that camp. Like, I felt as though there were a lot of harsh criticisms that I had for Pokemon that were not being heard.
Actually, taking back the second half of that, Therese Brothers getting ass hurt about the option to be trans existing in Dragon Age Veilguard. I should know better by now that somebody's gonna whinge about harmless stuff.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's dumb. It's like, this is an option for people. You can just not do it. Yeah, like that. Totally agree there. But yeah, like, Pokemon, I have a lot of criticisms about Pokemon, and a lot of them are going to go unheard. So what I need to do, which is very sad to say, is not put too much emotional effort into it, right? I'm just like, Pokemon is just a video game.
Greetings, my good streamer. How goes the WoW experience?
It's all right. I'll give more detailed, like, thoughts about it later. But, like, my thoughts and criticisms about Pokemon are probably going to go unheard. Game Freak is going to keep doing what they're doing. The Pokemon company is going to keep doing what it's doing. So I can either continue to be upset that this thing that's close to my heart is being quote-unquote bastardized or whatever, or I can realize that this is just a product for my consumption and that it has given me a lot of joy in the past, but I can have a healthy amount of emotional detachment, and I can move on to something else. You know, I can put my emotions elsewhere. Now, Pokemon is a very close thing to my heart. I still love it a lot, but I also have a decent amount of emotional detachment from it, right? Where if it does something bad that upsets me, I'm not too bent out of shape about it, because it's like, whatever, it's a product, right? And I feel like that's the way to go about it, personally. But the performance issues are unacceptable, but I also realize that one, capitalism is going to prevent Pokemon from being greater than it is, and two, I'm in way too deep to get out of this hole. That's fair too. Whatever works for you. But what works for me is just like, this is a product, first and foremost. And it helped me out with the whole D&D thing, you know? Like, I don't like how Wizards is handling the property, And one day I'm eventually gonna just like, I'm not gonna stop playing it forever, but I'm also not gonna pretend like it's the only thing out there and that I'm shackled to it, you know? I am not shackled to D&D. I am not shackled to Final Fantasy. I am not shackled to Pokemon. I am not shackled to Monster Hunter. And maybe one day all of those things will eventually lose their luster and become things that I no longer love. And that's okay. I'll move on to other greater things, you know? That's life. Nothing lasts forever. Ooh, a chest. You know, I feel like we all need to have a healthy amount of emotional detachment from these things because none of them last forever. There's no use lamenting things that could be when there's so many other great things out there to experience. And that's what works for me, you know. Playing other tabletop RPGs really opened my eyes to better systems for my friend group. Yeah, and you could discover something new that you really, really like. You could have sold those? Oh, well. I wanted to make space for other things that I will sell. Go. Now what I should do is I should go back to town and spend some money getting some skills. Cheese wheel mentality. Yeah, exactly. Okay, young night spider. Night web spider. Okay. But yeah, and that's not to say that you shouldn't get emotionally attached to anything. No, you can still, you know, the emotions and things that you feel from the experiences, they'll always stick with you. No matter what happens to whatever property that you love, those experiences can never be taken away. You know, I feel like that's important. And it's okay to have those feelings. I have those feelings. Even with the most cynical corporate products ever, I can still find joy. I can still have wonderful moments with my friends. And I will forever attach them to those products. But I also, at the end of the day, remember that those are products. And, you know, my joy is not so heavily tied to them. Blue Skywolf, welcome! Thank you for the raid! I'm talking about deep stuff, apparently. Deep stuff about being attached to products and how they're a part of our identities and how we can treat them in a healthy manner so as to not go insane. But yeah, like, I'm not so attached to these things that, you know, I'm not so shackled to them that my joy and my life are dependent on them being good or being what I want them to be, you know? And I don't think anybody is. Unless it's, like, literally your job, in the sense that you work for them. But, like, yeah, like, one day 14 is gonna be something that I don't want anymore. One day Monster Hunter is gonna be something I don't want anymore. One day, soon, D&D is gonna be something that I don't want anymore. I can dig in my heels. I can shout myself blue until I'm blue in the face about how I want it to change to be what I want it to be. Or I can move on. I can take my money and time elsewhere. Yeah, it's sad, but I think that's the healthy thing to do. Like, and like, I feel like we shouldn't, or at least to me as well, I'm not gonna get too upset at the thing either, because just because it's not what I want, doesn't mean that it doesn't have its fans. It doesn't mean that it might be someone's favorite thing ever. Right? And I think I shouldn't, you know, be so mad at it for being that. Oh, whoops. Uh-oh, this is bad. Uh-oh. Imp, you okay? Oh, okay. Well, I'm booking it. Time to go. I aggroed 2 spiders. This is bad. Oh god, this is bad. Oh god. Run. Oh god, run. Oof. Out of aggro range. Okay, sweet. Phew. Okay. All right. Let's eat some food. What do I got? Tough jerky. Yeah. Let's eat some food. Don't be mad it won't go on forever. Be thankful that the time you had with it got you where you are now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's some wise words, Inkwitch. Yeah. It's like nothing lasts forever, you know? And I feel it's ignorant to believe that anything could. Hello? Meow. Meow.
It's so warm in here.
It is. It's very warm in here.
Oh, it's so nice.
I see you wearing a jacket. Is it really that chilly out there?
It is chilly.
The young spiders are outside the cave. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna run away from these. Yeah, you can aggro me if you want. There's none you can do. I'm so fast. Fastest undead in the west. Ah, there they are. I see. But yeah, I think I've said my piece. Anything else I say will just be repeating what I said. Let's summon my imp again.
Piece about what?
About like the things that we love, especially if they're products. Eventually they're gonna be not the thing that we want anymore, and we can either scream until we're blue in the face about how no, stop changing it, you're ruining this thing that I love that's a part of me, or we can acknowledge that it is a product and maybe our time with it has come to an end and we can move on to better things.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I love D&D, I love Monster Hunter, I love Final Fantasy, but one day...
I love Blue Sky.
Yeah, one day it's gonna come to an end, and it's okay to be sad about it,
And
but...
I hope it doesn't end as poorly as Twitter.
Yeah, but eventually you can move on to other things, you know? You can let go. Even though letting go is hard.
Can I see a thing about Blue Sky?
Sure.
So, a really cool thing that I saw some of the developers talking about with Blue Sky is that they recognize that the future company is the enemy of its user base. Mm-hmm. Literally because of that, where they were like, okay, if this company continues to grow, eventually it's going to get to a point where its motives will be contradictory to the user base.
Yes.
And so they're preemptively setting things up so that Blue Sky will be company proof.
Yeah, so I hope what they're doing actually is embedding it in the code, like foundationally. That way that it's like so deep within the foundations of the code that it's going to be hard to remove as well.
Yeah.
So they can't just go back on it. I hope they make it like base code, so removing it breaks everything.
Yeah, like one of their current policies is that if you leave, your data goes with you. So if you delete your account, they delete the data that they have from you as well.
Mm-hmm. Damn Joe, 2 girls. Yeah, you think I made that song just because like I was talking out of my ass? No.
Technically 3. Muffin's a girl.
Muffin, yeah. If you caught us like 3 or so weeks ago, I had 4 girls in my room.
Yeah, and we were all sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how's WoW going?
It's very much a mindless, like, go here, do this, okay, good kind of game. But of course, you know, it was like the first of this type of MMO, you know? So keeping the context in mind. It has given me a lot of time to chat with chat, so.
Very nice.
It's very nice. It's definitely a game to, like, just to turn your brain off, shoot the shit, maybe put on something on the second monitor, you know?
Like web fishing?
Kind of, or like RuneScape.
I just wanted to come make sure that you'll be good for pancakes and Phoenix Wright in a little bit.
Yes.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got pancakes and Phoenix Wright later, chat.
Yes, we're celebrating Echo's glorious return home.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
And also the stress. Oh, God, that's right. I told chat that I would tell them about what happened. So earlier today, I was helping a friend figure out how to install Final Fantasy XIV, because that in and of itself is a mess. And in the middle of that, Echo was preparing to do stream. So she was like, I need help. And I was like, okay, friend, this can wait. Echo wants to prep stream. So I go to do that. And then as soon as I sit down on at Echo's desk to help her troubleshoot, we get a knock on the door of someone that's like, hey, do you want solar panels?
Because energy is going to raise the prices next year.
Yeah. So, and we actually do want solar panels. So we were like, actually, yeah, normally we don't say yes to people going door to door selling things, but this is actually something that we want. So we were like, well, you're here, might as well. Oh no, I gotta go northwest. So we're like, okay, can you do that while I help like assist Echo troubleshoot her stream stuff? So yeah, but then eventually, because I'm the homeowner, I need to talk with them eventually. So then after I'm done with that, I go to help my friend with 14, and then I have to go back and help with the solar panel stuff. So whatever, okay, we just got to do this. An hour passes.
Yeah, meanwhile, mind you, the guy, like, so there was an engineer who talked to us, but then the guy who was knocking on doors was like, oh, do you just have like 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And we were like, sure, we have 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. It takes about 2 hours, and just this whole process is taking forever. And it's almost to a breaking point when the final step of it involves me having to talk with, get a phone call from, I guess, their provider company on the phone, and this lady who's just doing her job, of course, like it's probably just trained into her to do this. She's just reading off of a script, this whole thing of like, if you have any questions, you can go to our website, and I think she could have stopped right there. If you have any questions, you can go to our website. But of course, it's her job description is to read the whole script. So she goes, you can go to our website where we can provide information about special deal. And she's just reading the script. And meanwhile, I'm like, I have stream in like 30 minutes. Please wrap it up. But I don't say that, of course. I let her do her whole spiel because I don't want to be rude. And she's just doing her job. And then I'm like, okay, yes, I understand. And she's like, you are Joseph under this, right? And this address, right? I'm like, yes. And we will provide this service that will allow you to, and then just continues to list off. And I was like, ah. And then that was done. And then next, the guy needed me to get on the phone.
Record you as the homeowner?
Yes.
Filling out the contract.
Yes, they have to see my face with this automated message thing where this essentially pre-recorded person is reading off this entire thing, basically like to sign and understand this transparency form that's like, you understand that this is not the same as your service provider. And I'm like, yes, we understand. You understand that the installation will happen either 30 days after or 30 days after this, whichever comes first. I'm like, yes. And I can't just spam click through the understand thing. I have to wait for the pre-recorded message to finish. And I'm like, stream is in like 20 minutes, please. And it goes through like 20 of them. I'm like, okay, we're done. Thank you. And I was like, good God, I am close to my wit's end. If there's any more obfuscation, I might just cancel. But we got it done, and it was a nightmare and a half. Yeah, exit clause, all that stuff of
And
like...
then
Yeah, we should check their credentials when we get a chance.
Yeah.
And then it didn't process at first.
Yes,
so
and
there was a chance he was gonna have to
do it all over again.
It did process, it just took a longer time.
And to the point where I told Echo straight up, I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, if there's more steps to this, I'm gonna say no. Did we learn our lesson? What lesson? What lesson did we learn? Is there a lesson?
The lesson is capitalism bad because it makes jobs inefficient.
Yeah, I was legitimately about to take our business elsewhere, because even though it wasn't the tech guy's fault, this is how the company is running it, and I was gonna be like, well, it do better. Like, you're losing a customer now. To the point, I'm gonna say right now, on record, like, so Stream is gonna know, if it's much more trouble from here on out, let's cancel it.
Okay.
Because like, if it's too much trouble, like this is us taking voting with our wallet. And I'm trying to vote with my wallet more nowadays. Like, take our business to where things will be convenient.
Yeah, will you forward me the emails and stuff they sent you so I can start looking into them?
Mm-hmm.
Lesson learned. The rich are tasty, seasoned with lemon pepper.
Also, the guy was so excited. That
Oh yeah, he saw our YouTube plaques and he was like, "Yo, that's so cool! You've got 1 million subscribers." Yeah. The rich are tasty, seasoned with lemon pepper. Agreed. Yeah.
Well, I disagree. I think they're better caramelized.
Caramelized. I'm more of a Creole man myself.
Depends if you're eating it for dinner or dessert.
Oh, true. Do you like your rich for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or dessert?
Or snack.
Or snack. Oh yeah, just a little bit throughout the day. Do what we do in Florida, use emergency door alligator. What, just summon an alligator at the door and be like, oh no, I can't do that right now. There's an alligator.
Sorry, there's an alligator, you see it.
Yeah. Have we considered flambéed?
Or what about like a nice crock pot?
Ooh, yeah, just throw a bunch of them in there. Let's see. We can now turn our eyes to the other concerns. So this is one thing that I actually think is cool about Classic WoW. You have to read the quest descriptions and discern it based on their directions.
Oh, God.
There's no quest marker.
Whoa.
Oh.
But so that is highly dependent, first off, on the map being designed well enough for you to check on landmarks.
Yeah.
But also, a second factor, the quest description needs to be good in order to give you good directions as well. So far, it's been pretty good. Let's see. My scouts have reported that a detachment of Scarlet Crusade is setting up camp southeast of here. So we have to go southeast. Okay, and we have to bring Executor Aaron 12 Scarlet armbands. Okay, so southeast.
So what are you?
I'm a zombie.
Whoa.
Chat voted for me to be a part of the Horde, and I'm a undead.
Your name is Tongue Lash?
Tongue lash, because I have no jaw, and therefore my tongue is ready to lash at any enemies.
What if you want to chew? How do you get your ears to pop?
Well,
can't chew.
I have. Luckily, those have also rotted off.
Oh,
so
okay, that's great then.
yes, Loktar Ogar. What does that mean? Where are the Horde players in here? What is Loktar Ogar? There they are. And I also have a little imp minion. That's Gabo, glamored over to be an imp. He's shooting fireballs.
Cute.
Victory or death. And so far, the lore for the ooh, cheese. Oh, I should have sold these.
Lotarogar. Translation: Victory or death.
Victory or death. I should sell these. So the lore for the undead is actually kind of quaint. It's just like they just want to live. It's like, we're not like those other mindless killer zombies. We just want to survive, you know, like, and they are very self-defense of like, we will kill anyone who tries to stamp us out, including humans. But like, really, it just seems like they're just kind of chilling out. It's like, we're joining in the Horde so that we can strengthen our ranks, but really, we just want to be left alone.
Do they eat brains?
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Maybe. You're killing me by skills. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. This game's really bad for anyone who has like executive dysfunction, because like I hesitate to say that I have ADHD because I have not been diagnosed.
He does. I know him. I'm telling you.
But
I have been diagnosed.
But like, there's a lot you need to do. You don't just get skills when you level up. You have to buy them from a trainer. So I have to go over here. Yeah, I'll buy more skills. Sorry, chat. This has probably been very painful. So what can we buy?
If you desire more action bars, they can be enabled in the options menu.
Yes, I know. People have told me that several times. I only need... They're like, hey, you can have more action bars if you go to the menu. I don't even have that many skills yet. Don't worry. I'm okay. Curse of Weakness. Okay, we'll buy that. And Corruption. Yeah, I don't need more action bars yet, chat. Yeah, I don't need them yet. I know. I know I can add more. But everyone keeps telling me. But let's see. Oh yeah, there's proficiencies as well, very much like D&D. Let's see. So, Corruption. Oh, another dot! Hell yeah, stacking dots. And Curse of Weakness. Damage causes target to reduce. So it weakens them, a debuff. Only one curse per warlock can be active on one target. Okay. So reduce their damage. All right, cool. I've got 2 dots.
Good for you.
Dots on dots on dots. More dots. More dots, everyone. More dots. Okay, stop dots. Joe Cat is a traitor to the Mother Crystal. Hope you have a great time in Azeroth. Yes, I betrayed the Final Fantasy briefly. I don't know that this is going to be my new home. It's going to take a very, very strong contender for me to consider another MMO my new home. Because 14 still has its claws latched into me. I will say, the cat boy is very, very... It's a very strong magnet.
We shall dot all the targets and watch them burn in our damage. Double
indeed.
Agents Joe and Gobo.
Muffin.
Double Agent Joe and Gabo, yeah. It is kind of perfect, yeah. It's me and Gabo on an adventure together.
I like how he hops.
Hey, yeah. He's such a gremlin.
Rat.
A rat. Oh, shit, a rat.
Oh shit, a rat.
Kill him. Dead rat. All right, so dot number 1 and dot number 2. 2 dots. Yeah, double dots. More dots. Okay, stop dots. Nice.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay, that's enough. I will give him dots, even though he does not deserve them. That feels nice. Echo is scratching my head right now.
I'm petting the cat boy. I'm a very lucky lady. I get to pet cat boys whenever I want.
You don't have your armor up? Oh, shit. Ow, ow. Hiya. And then curse. Ah, it's instacast. All right. Oh, man. And now I'm out of mana. There we go. Actually...
Oh, wait, you can't. You have no jaw.
No. I can't bite. Styling on him with spells. Also, it's really cool. My my little guy can... Oh my gosh, that's a fireball! She's a mage! Scarlet Initiate. My my little gremlin can tank for me, apparently, which is pretty cool.
How many people are here?
What, in the stream?
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, I totally forgot.
Was it something about being toothless?
No. Oh, new home MMO. I might try out Guild Wars. I played it back when I was in college. It's not gonna consider it my new home, but I definitely do like the Sylvari. They're pretty cool.
You know what MMO I think you should try?
What?
Fishing Planet.
Fishing Planet? I don't think that's an MMO, is it?
I feel like it is.
Chat, any Fishing Planet players here can confirm if it's an MMO?
Is Fishing Planet an MMO?
Because Dan Olsen made its comparison to like NFT games. Oh geez, oh no, this might be bad. You, stop.
I don't think web fishing isn't an MMO, is it?
Web fishing is not an MMO, it's lobby-based. Guild Wars 2 is all voice acted. Yeah, I might play it. I'm not going to consider it a new home, but I definitely want to spend some time in Guild Wars because I remember buying it back when it was still buy to play, and the first expansion, Heart of Thorns, came out. But yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I don't know why it never kept me though. I like completed my starting area, the Sylvari starting area, and like basically did everything in it because it's very cool. You might like Guild Wars actually. It's very like completionist oriented, where like go do this thing, go do this thing, go do this thing in these different areas.
What about RuneScape?
No, RuneScape's not my kind of game.
Is it too grindy?
No, it's just I like a good combat system, and RuneScape's combat is very simple.
I don't like combat. So it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
It's mostly just like gathering and walking around.
Yeah.
Exploring.
The thing about RuneScape is it's a very simple game.
It's a very simple grindy game.
Yeah, and I like a bit more systems More,
You like a little bit more substance.
yeah, which, you know, the substance of RuneScape is its grind, right?
Yes. That's like, I have been describing RuneScape to people since I was in high school as active meditation, where it's like you're doing something, but you're kind of chill.
Yeah.
Like, you're just relaxing.
Because, like, how RuneScape plays is very simple. You click on a thing, and that's it. You click on a thing to do the thing.
And
yeah.
then you do it again.
Yeah. Whereas I like games where you can hacky slashy, where there are different mechanics.
Like more skill involved.
There's actual mechanics to things.
Yeah, RuneScape doesn't require any skill, really. I mean, there's some things but for the most part, RuneScape does not require skill.
Intentional procrastination, yeah.
Yes.
If you make content on Guild Wars 2, whatever kind, I will watch it several times. Maybe one day. Maybe like a video. I have wanted to make more high effort gaming videos, in the sense that it's not just the game, but like an accompanying animation with it. Because I feel like this is not me having false humility or anything. I'm not trying to just talk down on myself. I don't know that I'm that entertaining as a Let's Player. But I think that's not where my strengths are anyway. I think my strengths as a content creator is my animation skills.
And writing.
And I think I can definitely... I want to do more like Game Grumps animations, where the highlights... Because I do have my moments. I animate the highlights and make those into videos instead.
Yes.
Because I don't think I can compete as far as like highlighted gameplay content goes. So I think... Oh, it's Ray!
It is good to see you live, Joe.
Raid.
I hope you have a wonderful stream.
Thank you,
It's
Ray.
really good to see you stream more games.
Thank you.
Raiders.
Raiders. Hello, Raiders. Welcome. I'm playing World of Warcraft, another game that Ray will never touch. And it is... It's all right. Now, of course, I'm only scratching the surface. Let's keep in mind, let's be honest. This is like not even breaking the crust of WoW. So... It's not like I'm actually, ooh, a bag! Heck yeah!
Oh, does anyone of the Raiders know if Fishing Planet is an MMO?
Yeah, anyone
here play Fishing Planet?
Fishing Planet? Now that's a game Ray would play. Like once. Keep in mind, I'm scratching the surface, and I don't know if I'll make another stream about this game. Maybe just to really give it a fair shot, because WoW, like most MMOs, you haven't really played until you've played like 40, 50, 100 hours, right? To really consider yourself have played the actual game. Oh, I forgot to equip the bag. Yeah. So here's the thing about WoW. Your inventory is very limited, so you have to get bags. Down here, well, Gabbo's in the way, but down here, you can see this. These are your bag slots. You get additional inventory spots based on the bags you wear, and I kinda like that. I think that's kinda cool.
Yeah.
You're literally wearing the bags that are carrying your items.
Neat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going in there. I will see you for pancakes and
Yeah, soon. I think I'm actually gonna wrap up stream now. So sorry, Raiders, that you came just to be sent somewhere else. But yeah, we've got pancakes and Phoenix Wright. So I'm gonna go find a place to log out, and I'm gonna send you to give love somewhere else. I'm gonna snooze those ads. So another thing before you log out is you want to log out in a tavern. That way you can log out instantly and you get bonus XP next time you log in. Is this it? Is this the tavern? No, these are a bunch of monsters. So yeah, let's see who's online while I walk back to town. Ooh. Shut up, Joe. You know what? You know who's a cool guy I want to raid? Who's online right now? Let's raid Barry. Barry is playing Sorry We're Closed. It looks like a... What is this? This is a roguelike? This is a horror game? I don't quite know. /raid Barry. Oh, Alec is on. Ah, shit. Oh, well, next time. Next time I'll raid Alec. Good suggestion, Eric. I'm so sorry I missed your message. Right at the last minute. So sorry. Alec next time. He's playing Final Fantasy IV. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining me. I don't know if I'll do another WoW stream. Like I said, this was a very brief one, even though it's like 2 hours. 2 hours is like nothing. But I would feel bad if I streamed more WoW before I even finished Dawn Trail, because that's still, yeah. First impressions so far, yeah. It's a good mindless game. Turn your brain off, kill some enemies, walk around, do some quests. Don't know if it's for me though, but we'll see if I get further along in it, and if I do stream it more. But it's interesting. I do like some of the unique novelty stuff though. But send Barry some love, and I will see you guys later. Bye.